Welcome back, Austin here with the Holy Paladin Full Clear Horrific Vision Guide. Let's start on my research tree. I'm up to Elite Extermination and my cape is rank 8 for this run. I don't have any good corruptions currently, but the ones I'm using is Stacking Crit Buff and Echoing Void, both at rank 1. The talents I'm running are Crusader's Might, Cavalier, Fist of Justice, Devotion Aura, Holy Avenger, Sanctified Wrath, and Divine Purpose. The essences I'm using are Crucible of Flame Major for the damage and short cooldown, with Unwavering Ward, Vision of Perfection, and Conflict and Strife minors. My Azurite traits are 3 Glimmer of Light with a Light's Decree.
From the past, look to the future.
Starting off Orgrimmar, I pull everything on the left side including Thrall's guards, up to the blacksmith for the damage buff. While I'm doing this, I check for the potion, which is in the second building along the left side. One thing I'm starting to notice in the visions is the potion outside the building is the Sanity Restore potion, so keep that in mind, grabbing that after you clear the first big pool. It should top your sanity back up.
Champions, we've been needing your help. You be here just in time. My brothers and sisters in the Valley of Spirits be in danger.
For the first elite in front of Valley of Spirit, remember to avoid his Decimator and his charge attack. We then move on to the Valley of Spirit, which is pretty much the easiest zone in Orc. There's only one elite here and there's a damage buff here as well. You get it by killing the named mob on the far side of the bridge. After clearing all the totems, you can skip the 2 mobs in front of the boss by hugging the wall after the final totem, and you just have to kill the boss. This helps save some time. For the boss, there are only 2 abilities. One is a spawn of waves that will stun you and drain sanity, and the other is Hopelessness, which will silence you and throw an orb. You need to grab the orb to be able to cast again.
My brothers and sisters be free, but how can we ever be trusting the voices of the elements again?
After the Valley of Spirit, we move on to the Valley of Wisdom. For this zone, you will need to fill a bar by killing enemies around the area. There will be 3 elites here. For the first pull, I grab everything in front of the first elite, the Hulk. I also use an orb here to top back off on sanity. For this Hulk, you will need to avoid the leap he does, and make sure you aren't casting during his shout because it will kick you.
Smash, puny weaklings! No! What have they done to you?
Moving on, I continue clearing up to the next elite. You don't need to kill everything in this zone, so I recommend you skip the pack at the ritual area, because there are 2 dominators here and they can mess up your run with the Touch of Abyss cast. For the elite, he will spawn puddles on the ground that need to be avoided. The first is a solo puddle, which is a decent size. The next will be a spread of puddles to avoid. After this, the boss for the zone will appear near the entrance of the area. For this boss, you want to hug him the whole fight. He will do a smash that will stun and drain sanity if you're hit. The next thing is 3 swirls, which will spawn adds. These will just deal damage, so they aren't that big of a worry. So just don't stand in the swirls. The final thing is Ring of Chaos, which spawns a ring of orbs around him. These orbs will stun you and nuke your sanity, so remember to stay in the boss's pocket. After this boss, I take the totem back to the start and make my way to the drag. The drag is simple. Kill the mobs and open the doors. The first elite here can be annoying. He spawns a puddle on the ground that needs to be avoided and will do a beam that will push you back. You can still attack during this, just make sure to watch your feet and don't run through the puddle.
I almost had him.
Name your...
Let's search the drag for survivors. I'll conceal any we find while you keep the enemy at bay. There's a teleporter on the other side of the drag. I just hope it still works. Another casualty. Let's move along. Check the tailoring shop and orphanage for survivors. I'll keep watch. More blocked off buildings. Check the leatherworking and engineering workshops. Careful around those explosives. This isn't good.
After opening all the doors comes the zone boss. I use my second orb before I start him. He does two abilities. One is a shield that will drain sanity if he gets cast off, so damage through this and break the shield. The next is a torrent, which will stun you and throw you in the air if you get hit, draining sanity while you're in the air. You can break the stun and it stops the drain. After this, we move to the Valley of Honor, which is the hardest zone because of the constant spawning of puddles, knockbacks, a big spread of ads, and of course, Rexar.
We will never be silent.
We should be safe now, champion. Remain wary. Thrall's forces are everywhere.
You are but meat before Nazar.
Starting off, you fight Misha, Rexar's pet. She does two abilities. One is a breath that spawns puddles with ads after some time, and a roar which fears you, so watch your feet during this. Throughout this area, the bugs can stun you with the stacking debuff from the melee attacks, so kite when you can or dispel. There are skips here, so I suggest making use of them, because you only need to get to Rexar here. One is clearing the first pack after Misha and running up to the top of the ridge and jumping into the water to avoid the bridge. The next elite does a breath that can stun, and he spawns puddles that need to be avoided.
We outnumber.
After him, one more pack stands between you and Rexar. He spawns boars through the whole fight that cast void bolts that drain sanity. This spell has no CD, so pay attention. They also can charge you when they spawn. He will also throw traps, so watch where you're facing when the boars spawn, because they can throw you into a trap and stun you. After Rexar, we take the totem back to Thrall. I used my final orb for Thrall because he now does all the abilities from the mini bosses. He will start with 2 boars. You want to kill these quick before DPSing him. Remember to avoid defiled ground by sidestepping, moving out of the void circles he spawns, breaking the shield, and grabbing the orb when he does hopelessness. Pay attention to this fight because everything drains sanity. So big burn and get your loot.
We must obey Nazoth! Thank you. 4, 3.
Vision exploration concluded. Initiating exit protocol.
Thank you for checking out my Holy Paladin Orgrimmar full clear horrific vision guide. If you have any suggestions to help me improve the videos, leave them in the comment section below. Hit that like button if you liked it and that dislike if you didn't. Smash that subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video. Have a good one. See ya.